I'm going to turn off my phone because I've been getting a lot of calls today.
I understand.
From participants.
Okay, Nadzrin, you are on live. You can go.
You're supposed to introduce me.
Oh, but I just spotlight you.
Tak apa, suara je.
Very good afternoon, everyone. Today, we are very proud to have our Mohd Nadzrin Wahab to share with you how do you engage your audience. There are 7 tips altogether. So let's listen. Sorry. Okay, so I pass the floor to. Very good afternoon, everyone. Today we are very proud to have,
you're on. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session today. I can hear someone's Facebook is on, so if you could mute that, because we're going live to Facebook right now. But at the same time, it's a bit of a lag, right? So we're on Zoom, and hello, Facebook land. Those people are on Facebook land. Today, we're going to talk about how do you engage your audience virtually. If you teach online, if you teach virtually your classes to your students are somewhere else on the planet, and we find this issue of, or they're not engaged, or they're gone to the toilet, or they're just listening but they're not doing anything. So here are some of the 7 most powerful things that I can show you to do that will immediately start ramping up your session. So Kelvin, how many minutes do we have today? Kelvin tengah makan.
You can have the whole day if you want.
I can have the whole day. Okay, so let me make this as quick as possible so that we can leave some space for questions and answers. So first thing we're going to talk about is what are some of the tips, right? But before that, for those in the room right now on Zoom, I want you to type into the text chat. If you were to teach online, you were the instructor, you were the facilitator, you were the one running the show. What worries you about online learning? What worries you about teaching online to other people? So here's what's going to happen, right? I want you to type into the text chat. In the meantime, I will mute my mic, I will mute my video. And as you type into the text chat, I will read it out to everyone. So everyone in Facebook land, we're gonna mute for a while. There might be some quiet for a couple of minutes because we're giving our friends over here to type into the text chat. Okay, so for everyone in the Zoom room, I see Sue, I see Saiful, I see Kelvin, I see Bina, I see Suryani, I see Surya. So I need some of your feedback. What are you worried about when you teach online? Let's help the people in Facebook land to be able to understand what are some of the things that we face. Okay, I'm going to mute for a while and then I will read out as the text comes in. See you in a bit. All righty then. So we have something in the text chat already. Saiful says the line. I don't know what that means. What line? Garisana pun. Bina says unstable network connection. Well, unstable network connection. Your Unify, your Wi-Fi. Suryana says participant can't follow the steps during the activities. That's interesting. Good. Saiful says or internet line. I get it now. So Saiful, are you asking about Wi-Fi? Or what are you talking about specifically? Is it the line from Unify to your house, or is it from the router to your laptop? Could you explain that? Bina says, huge group of participants, how to focus? Are you asking, Bina, how do you focus, or how do they focus? So you give me a bit more feedback, that would be very helpful. Let's tackle some of these questions, right? So number 1, guys, when you are teaching online, you want to remember that Wi-Fi is not the best way to go. If you are a gamer, if you have somebody in your family who is a gamer, right? They play, well, I don't even know what games they have now. Like it was like Command and Conquer. Oh God, I'm lost. I'm too old by now. Oh, PUBG. Right. But those you can play on your phone. But if you're a hardcore gamer and you do it on the laptop or you do it on your PC, you need a really powerful PC. And here's the one thing they always insist on: they never use Wi-Fi. They will always use a LAN cable. So when you have issues like that, LAN cable is still the best because it provides you an uninterrupted line from your router direct to your laptop. Always use a LAN cable. And in my case, I have a 20-meter LAN cable to ensure that I have no interrupted, because the router is downstairs, my workstation is upstairs. So if you can move your workstation closer to the Wi-Fi, to the router, you can have a shorter LAN cable. But here's the thing: many people forget this. They think, oh, my Wi-Fi is so slow. Then the answer is, don't use Wi-Fi. Pakai LAN cable terus. All right, so that's one like that. Bina says, huge group of participants chit-chat how to focus as a trainer. Well, if you're using Zoom, you can actually mute them, the microphone, and you can also mute their comments. So you can actually block them from typing anything into the text chat. Of course, that functionality, you have to go into the Zoom website, and there's not a lot of tools like this that can do that. Outside of that, discipline. When you begin your session, lay down the ground rules, make sure that they are disciplined enough, or you say, if you continue like this, I'm not going to continue, right? You can talk and leave me. There are many things you can do. Some might be shocking, but you know, when you're doing something online, sometimes shocking works. Okay, let's see if there's any more questions. Suryani says, participants can't follow the steps during the activities. Fantastic. Here's the thing about online. It is not the same as classroom. In the classroom, when you are telling some, okay, after this, we're going to do an activity, yeah? And the activity is like this, like this, like this. You provide that explanation. And what happens is, you can see their faces. You can see that muka confused. You can see that they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. So when you're online, what you have to do is you need to focus on two things. Okay, everyone, please write this down. It's very important. Number one, you need to focus on clarity, clearness, clarity. Clarity of what? Clarity of information, what you tell them. And second is certainty, certainty of instruction. So I'll repeat that one last time. Make sure you write it down. Clarity of information and certainty of instruction. And why is this important? Well, because I cannot see your faces. I do not know whether you understand or not. But what I can do is I can give you clear information and certain instructions. So how do we do this? Well, if you were listening, I did that just now. I just did it. I said, okay, after this, everybody in Facebook land, don't panic, relax, because we might go silent for a while. I'm going to mute my mic, I'm going to mute my webcam, so to allow the participants here in Zoom room to be able to ask questions. What did I do? I gave you information. I gave you clear information so that you know what's going to happen. If, for example, I did not say anything, and I said, okay, please type into the text chat, and I sit here just doing nothing. Or worse, I turn off my webcam, and even worse, you don't know what I'm doing. Suddenly you go, what happened? What happened? Where's Nazrin? Why suddenly so quiet? So make sure that people understand what's happening or what's going to happen. So clarity of information. Number two is certainty of instructions, which means that when you provide an instruction, you must be very, very sure and make sure that they understand. I'll give you an example, right? If you were an actor, right? I hope some of you are actors. If you are an actor and you are about to start acting, right? You are in the scene, the director is there, cameraman is there, everybody's ready to go. And then suddenly, director goes, okay lah, start lah. How will you start? How would you actually start? You're like, boleh start ke? Boleh start ke? Agak, start lah, what's wrong? Start lah. And the problem is, of course, he did not give you action. This is exactly what you need to do online. Certainty of instruction makes the participants know exactly what they're supposed to be doing. So what I did just now is I said, okay, everyone please type into the text chat now. There is a clear distinction between the before and the, oh, must do now. Huh? Another one, try this one out for your size, right? An analogy. Imagine you are running 100 meters in the Olympics and everybody's there. and you're waiting for the referee to shoot the gun. Instead of shooting the gun, instead of saying run, he goes, go lah, go, go. And everybody's looking at him like, can go. So certainty of instruction is important because they cannot see you, they cannot read your body language. So these two things, very, very important. So Sue, I hope that answered the question. I think, I'm not sure whether it was Sue was asked that question. Let me go back. Let's see who asked that question. So was it? Yes, it was Siti Suryani. So these two, very important. If I were to teach you anything, if I wanted you to take away anything, clarity of information, tell them what they need to know, and then certainty of instructions. Because if you don't have certainty, you don't have that goal, then you're going to find it very difficult for people. They don't know exactly what they're supposed to be doing. And I actually attended a session today. I attended a TTT session today where the instructor gave us very vague instructions, and he puts us into a breakout room. And then when we're all in the breakout room, there's 4 of us in the breakout room. I look at you, you look at me. What are we supposed to do again? Nobody knows because it was so vague. There was no certainty to that. Okay, so let's see if there's another question. Kevin says it's difficult to make the participant to share and participate in the training. Well, depending on what we're talking about, right? You can actually get them to share by a few ways. Number one is participants don't share for what reason? Number one, they believe the session is going to be boring. So masuk-masuk saja, like, hello everyone, welcome to our webinar today. That kills the atmosphere immediately, right on the spot. So the opening must be very energetic, must be high impact. Because if you cannot open well, remember, first impressions do count. So if you cannot open well, then the rest of the session will just go downwards. There will be a lack of energy. So if you want them to start sharing, you share first. That's number one. Number two is you want to be able to celebrate every answer. This is Malaysia, right? And we grew up like this in our schools. Why don't we put our hands up to answer questions in school? And I'm not just saying students. I do corporate training. Even adults, right? When you ask a question as a trainer, even adults in classrooms, they don't put their hands up. These are executives. These are managers, supervisors. They don't put their hands up to ask questions. Why? Because in school, we were brainwashed. We were indoctrinated to not put our hands up unless we got the correct answer. So we're scared. We're scared to put our hands up unless we have the correct answer. Tak nak lah, malu lah, nanti apa orang cakap lah. Right? Why are we shy? We shy because of how we were educated. So when people come into your session, even if it's the wrong answer, celebrate them and say thank you very much for that. Okay? Avoid saying good answer or excellent or fantastic, because then you start creating differences between one participant and the other participant. What you want to do is say thank you. Thank you for that answer. Thank you for that answer. Thank you for that answer. And when you do find an answer that you like the most, you say, okay, I would like to go back to Kelvin's answer. Kelvin's answer was like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. And what happens? Without needing to actually say it, everyone in the class goes, oh, Kelvin punya answer yang betul lah. So without you need to say fantastic or amazing or excellent or that's good, you don't actually create classroom politics. Yeah. And some people say, Nazrin, really mas sampai macam tu ke? Well, I practice it because that's how I like to be treated. I tak suka malu dalam kelas. So you think of yourself as a student. How would you like your teacher to treat you? How would you like your teacher to treat you in a class of many people? And you do that. That's the easiest way to find that answer. How you like to be treated, you do that as a teacher. Okay? So I hope I covered some of that. And if I did not, then please ask me more in the text chat. And we're going live on Facebook. So Kelvin, are we also monitoring comments there? If we are, could you import some of the questions here?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
So far, nothing?
Nothing yet.
All right. So Bina says, how huge group of participants, how to focus Q&A sessions, especially how to handle, especially for big group. Well, when you're doing a webinar, right? A webinar is a huge group. It's difficult to have interaction. It's mostly one way. So I wouldn't recommend you do very specific interactions. Some of the things you can do is use a third-party tool. If you've never heard of this, and somebody could help me type into the text chat, Mentimeter is a third-party tool. It's a website that you can use, and there are many different ways that you can use it. One of the ways is called a word cloud, and a word cloud you can share on your screen. All you have to do is ask a question and say, okay, I want you to type in one word. How do you feel today? So you give them that link that takes them to Mentimeter. Okay, they go to menti.com, and then you give them a code number that's specific to your session. They put in that code, and then there's a question there. How do you feel today? Answer with only one word. And with 100 people typing in words at the same time, some of those words will overlap. And if you know what a word cloud is, the more people who type in the word love, the bigger that word appears on the cloud. Somebody who types in passion, maybe only one person out of 100, then the word passion is very small. So that gives you indirect general feedback. But if you have a large crowd, you cannot do specific feedback. Right? That's the one thing you want to be aware of. There is a limitation, but there is still a way to get that feedback by using third-party tools. I wouldn't recommend if you have 100 people to say, okay, how do you feel today? Please type into the text chat. Especially for Zoom, it scrolls by too fast. Right? So one way you can use the presentation app. One of them is called Mentimeter. So somebody typed in there. Mentimeter allows you to do word clouds. Okay, I hear a buzz. Kelvin, do you hear a buzz as well?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know where that's coming from, but that's okay. We shall focus and keep going. So I hope I've answered all of those questions. Let's move on to tip number one. And tip number one is you must be aware of what platform you are using. And what is considered a platform? Well, a platform is what is the technology that holds your session up? What is the technology that you use to deliver your training or your learning course? So here's a model I put together, a spectrum that I put together, which goes from facilitator driven to learner driven. Facilitator driven on the spectrum means that you do most of the work, you provide most of the content. Learner driven means they self-study, they do it on their own. So on the left side, we have what is called a podcast. And if you've ever heard a podcast before, well, people listen to it on the way to work, it's used only voice. So if you think of recorded radio, that's a podcast. But podcasts are rarely songs. They are mostly talks, very specific talks sometimes that you want to listen to because of the subject matter expertise of that person. So if it's a talk about business or talk about marketing or copywriting, right? That's what you like to listen to. And people tend to listen to these talks on the way somewhere because they don't need to read it. What is the tool you use? You use a podcast. And what's it good for? It's good for voice only. That's good because remember, TV is here, Netflix is here, but radio has never died. It's still around. Then we have a chat class. And some people might go, yeah, such a thing, ada. People run courses on WhatsApp, they run courses on Telegram. More so Telegram than WhatsApp. But at first I was myself also a bit skeptical. But then when I joined a chat class myself, and the best part is that the chat class was on body language. Can you imagine learning body language over a chat class, over WhatsApp? That's exactly what we did for 10 days straight. Every night at 9 p.m., the facilitator would come in, mute all of us. If you know this, WhatsApp, in a group, you can actually, the admin can actually mute everyone, so nobody can type. So he teaches first, and then he unmutes to ask questions. Okay, all right. So he's going to say, I'm going to start again. I'm going to continue. He mutes them again, and he continues. Now, there's so many things you can do in WhatsApp. You can drop in videos. You can drop in pictures to analyze. Okay, so what he normally does is he drops in pictures of celebrities. And he says, okay, based on what we've just learned, what do you think his body language is saying? Ooh, and we all do the activity, and he debriefs us. So you can also drop in voice notes. Sometimes he takes voice notes from interviews. He processes it small voice files, drops it into WhatsApp, and we have to analyze not just the body language, but also the voice, vocal language. So that was fun. It totally threw away my fear, or I guess prejudice, that can run a course on WhatsApp. In fact, one of my friends ran two courses, two cohorts of meditation using WhatsApp. So I'm a firm believer now. Choose your platform very well, which fits what you need, your budget sometimes, which fits your participants. When you do WhatsApp, they can answer anytime, or they don't have to turn on their webcam. There is no webcam to turn on. So WhatsApp is easy. And if they miss it, they can scroll back. Some people prefer Telegram because if you join the class late, you can still scroll up and see. Okay. Then what we have is this, what we're doing right now. This is what we call a virtual class or a webinar. What's the difference between virtual class and webinar? Well, technically right now, it is a webinar because we're going to Zoom and we're going to Facebook. And you notice nobody's talking to me. So there's no actual interaction. I'm not asking anyone to turn on their microphones to talk to me. In a virtual class, that can happen. In a webinar, no, you can't have that two-way interaction, primarily because there's no way to have it. There's too many people. In a virtual class, you can say, okay, let's ask Kelvin his opinion. Kelvin, let me turn on your microphone, share with us, okay? So that requires a video conferencing tool, which means video, voice, stream. Then we have what we call a recorded class or a self-study. Recorded classes you'll find on things like Coursera, Skillshare, Udemy. And if you don't know what these are websites that you can go to. They're like online academies. And you can buy a course. You don't even need to meet the instructor. You just watch videos. And then you do the test, take the quiz, and you'll get your certificate. So that's what we call a recorded class. Recorded classes need a material repository, or where you put your stuff, right? In a real classroom, you give them workbooks, you give them handouts, right? You give them flip chart paper. But how you do it online? Well, you need to have a website where you put everything there. Simplest is Google Drive, right? Okay, guys, we're going to run our course on WhatsApp now. Please go into this Google Drive, click on this link, and download the materials for you to use. Simple thing, right? But the more complex it becomes, then you need a platform that is more high tech. And this is what we call an LMS, or a learning management system. Companies have LMSs, training companies have LMSs. Normal people like you and me, probably not. we don't have the money to be able to subscribe to anyway. But the idea is, if you have a learning management system, then you can set up quizzes, you can set up exams, you can set up discussion boards, things like that. The one on the far right is what we call an LXP, or Learning Experience Platform. This one is run by AI, right? Furthest from facilitator driven. Memang facilitator tak ada kat situ. And what it does is it personalizes to what you need to learn. And if you need an analogy for this, remember YouTube, right? Have you noticed that YouTube seems to know what you like to watch? Yeah, because you know your phone actually has a microphone. It listens to what you say sometimes. It's scary. YouTube is like that. When you watch YouTube, you click on certain videos and you don't click on certain videos. So YouTube notices, this guy tak suka this video, but he likes this type of video. So they tend to bring up videos of the same theme. The LXP is exactly like that, if not even better. You take a test, and then the questions that you get wrong, right, they will give you a module to study that fits in that knowledge gap. If you score very high, instead of starting at level 1, they give you level 5 to start at. So LXPs are going to be the wave of the future, especially if you don't have a teacher to teach. It can automatically diagnose what you need to learn and gives you the right content for you to learn it. LXPs are not out in the market, so you will not see it as an individual. But if you're working in a company and that company subscribes to an LXP, then you'll get that opportunity. All right, so I'm going to stop right now, and I want to survey for questions. What questions do you have? Please type into the text chat. I will mute for 1 minute and I want questions. I'm not asking ada soalan tak, no. I want questions. Please type in now.
Nampaknya tak ada soalan, very clear.
I post soalan tu.
Oh, ada. Okay.
Ada, I post soalan. Siti
Siti
Suryani
pun.
also post.
Okay, I see one question. Can I have more, please? Kelvin, do you have questions from Facebook?
Not yet.
Not yet. Is anybody watching? Hello. Is anybody out there?
They are.
Okay, because I think there's a bit of a time lag.
Basically, they're just quiet. Yeah.
They are too excited to see you talking, Cik Nazrin.
Alrighty then. So let's see what we have already so far. Siti Serena says, what is the best time to do online training and how long is the duration? Well, I don't have a hard opinion on that because I've done many different times. Definitely not 3 a.m. in the morning lah. I've done an 8 a.m. class. I've done a before lunch class. I've also done an after lunch class. And depending on how well you energize and engage them, there shouldn't be a problem with any of them. But I guess nothing between 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. So 5 to 9, no. 9 p.m. and above, boleh. I've done a 9 to 10 class. But I notice after 10, then that starts dying out. So if I were to say best, I've done 8 to 9, 9 to 10 a.m. in the morning, people are fresh. If you want to do training for companies where you do training for company staff. So I would recommend you do 2 hours maximum before lunch, 2 hours maximum after lunch. So you can pack in 4 hours a day. And 4 hours is the maximum. Please try not to go above 4 hours unless you are, Brad Pitt or something. People will stay online for you. Okay, so Sue says, is it a good tool to use WhatsApp as a tool for students to ask questions? Yes, I would say yes. Because in my programs, when I run a long program, not a webinar, please don't misunderstand. A 1 hour webinar, no point doing WhatsApp. But if you run a course over like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? Or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So when you do the virtual class, I wouldn't recommend you do the Q&A in the class because it takes up time and your time might run. Do the Q&A over WhatsApp for 2 reasons. Number 1, you save time. Number 2 is that some people process knowledge slower. Habis class, then Allah, I wanted to ask teacher, but gone already. So they can ask in the text, in the WhatsApp group. Okay. So for me, yes, I like it. I like to use it. And we find creative ways of using WhatsApp. Bina says, for technical training, which is the best platform? Well, for technical training, when you do virtual classes, you're going to see this a little bit later in one of the tips, right? For virtual classes, I would recommend, again, whatever you write, whatever you say, clarity of information and certainty of instruction. That is very important, irrespective of whatever platform you provide. Okay. So right now for technical training, I would recommend Google Classroom. Why? Because it's not pretty. It's not pretty like say Coursera or Udemy, but it's nice and sparse. It doesn't have a lot of design elements. And what it does is it gives you a good structure. So if you want to put your slides or your videos, or you want to put YouTube links, I would recommend Google Classroom. That's right now the best and free, of course. Tak payah bayar. Okay, Saiful says effective number of hours for online training. Well, if, like I said, if you're Brad Pitt, 24 hours pun boleh. But right now, okay, I'm going to turn on my microphone. I'm going to turn on my webcam. This is not Brad Pitt. So the max I manage is 4 hours a day with a 1 hour or 2 hour break in between. I prefer 2 hours. I prefer so in the morning you do 10 to 12, and then 12 to 2, you give them a break and lunch, and then 2 to 4. Yeah. So I hope that answers the question. Sue says, for digital marketing training, like creating FB page, what is the best approach? FB page, because I attended one of these, you have to go step by step by step, especially kalau noobs. Okay, I'm a noob. So for that, you need to have a tool. I wouldn't recommend you use FB Live because there's no way to be able to interact. So you use Zoom. At the same time, they are on you creating the FB pages. So if I were to do it, I would use 2 devices. I would say, you want to join my course? You need 2 devices, laptop and phone. Okay, so Zoom on the laptop. Zoom on the phone. Zoom me on the phone so that you can put in your earphones, you can listen. But for the Facebook, let's just say we create a Facebook page together. We're going to monetize, we're going to advertise and things like that. Follow me as I walk you through it. And then what you do is you double check against the phone. Why laptop besar? Because you only need to see or hear me what I say. So if I were to do it, I would use two devices, not one. But if you only have one device, boleh. It's just that they have to switch lah. Yeah, from Zoom have to hide, and then they have to go to the Facebook page and things like that. So I hope that answers the question. Saiful says, how can a soft skill trainer benefit from online training? Well, I would say soft skills trainers can benefit a lot because there's so many third-party tools out there that you can use. One of them is, oh my God, I forgot the name of the tool. It's a voicemail website. So you can actually set up an account where your participants send you voicemails. So you can use this like this. So if you teach, say, voice intonation, and you want to teach how do you get people to listen to what you say, you use this particular intonation of voice, and you want to check everyone's intonation. You can't do that over Zoom. There's too many people. What you can do is, okay, for your assignment, I want you to go to this website now. On this website, there'll be a button. You'll see my face there. You'll see my name there. Okay, next to my face, there's a button. That's my account. So you click on that button. I want you to record your voice and then send it. Just record and click send. It will come to my account and I will check each and every one of these. You want to do it old school? Okay, WhatsApp lah. Send the WhatsApp. Send through the WhatsApp group. You can also do that. But it's not very impressive lah. Because if you do this, you can actually share the screen and you can play it on Zoom, over Zoom at the same time. So soft skills, especially technical trainers, can benefit a lot. Soft skills trainers can benefit a lot more because there's a lot of tools available. There's a lot of creativity. You can have a lot of fun with it. So Saiful, I hope that answers the question. It's a long answer because I need to go and bring you to all of the tools. Okay, anything from Facebook yet?
Still no.
Still no. Wow, just along here for the ride one. Huh? Okay, so that's tip number 1. Tip number 2. If tip number 1 is choose your platform, tip number 2 is choose your tools correctly. There are basically 4 most important tools that I will recommend that you use when you are teaching online. Number 1 is your video conferencing tools. Okay, so please make sure that you master. When I say master, that means you know exactly what to do in case of an emergency. Right? So if you're using Zoom and then people start talking, you need to know the shortcut keys. You need to know that alternate M mutes everybody. If you cannot do that, then you have not mastered it. Okay. Right now, companies are saying, "Oh, can you run training for us over MS Teams?" Well, MS Teams is not a learning tool; it is a meeting tool. It doesn't do very well. But if you have no other option, then boleh lah pakai MS Teams. But the idea is you need to tell the client. Okay, so for those of you here who are freelance trainers, who you work with, training providers and clients like that, you make them very, very clear that MS Teams has limited functionality, which means that I can only do so much. So tell them upfront. Then you adjust your course to be able to fit MS Teams. Not my favorite, but okay. There's a question, is Zoom safe? Yes, Zoom is very safe. It is one of the safest tools out there. And then the next question is going to come. I will answer that question if it comes. There's others out there. WebEx. WebEx is like a stepsister to Zoom, because the CEO of Zoom was working for Cisco before. He pitched the idea, but Cisco did not like it. So he left and he created Zoom. And then Cisco bought over WebEx, and now WebEx looks exactly like Zoom, but same functionality, almost same functionality. In fact, a little bit better, because free WebEx gets you up to 100 people. But Zoom, if you want to get to 100 people, you have to pay. I would say this, if you are a professional trainer, if you're a professional teacher, you need to invest in tools. Don't expect to get free stuff all the time. It doesn't work that way. Okay, that last logo on the right, that is Google Meet. And Google Meet is getting better and better by the day. They are adding in more and more features. So everything I share here might be obsolete by next week or next month, because things move so fast. Did you know you can actually do WhatsApp group calls? You can do WhatsApp video calls. Once upon a time, it was only 4 people. Now they're rolling out 8 people. Next, they're going to roll out 50 people and tie into your Facebook chat as well. Because don't forget, WhatsApp is owned by Facebook. So they are integrating all of that. Exciting times, but again, tools will grow and tools can go. So please make sure you don't depend on a particular tool. You have mastery of a few, just in case, backup plan. Then we have what is called a material repository. And material repositories are where you keep all of your stuff, where you keep your videos. You can put it on YouTube, or you can put it as a video file inside Google Classroom. But you must make sure your Google Drive besar. For those who don't know this, Google Classroom is tied to Google Drive. So whatever you upload to Google Classroom goes into your drive. So if your drive does not have enough space, it starts eating into that. So make sure that you have enough space. Again, invest, pay. Why not? Pay for that space. MS Teams also has, well, because MS Teams is a corporate tool, so automatically it takes space up on your servers, on your own servers if you're using it. Then there's openlearning.com. Someone help me by typing into the text chat. Openlearning.com. If you're familiar with Coursera and Udemy, Open Learning is the Asian version, right? It was founded in Australia. It has a head office in Malaysia. The CEO is based in Malaysia now. And Open Learning is hosts a lot of, I think all of the Malaysian universities' courses are hosted on Open Learning. And even you could start a course on Open Learning right now. I was telling my friends this the other day. I found it on LinkedIn. Nobisha, this guy is a HR practitioner, very famous HR practitioner. HR people will know who he is. He always tweets about HR stuff. And he is selling a HR certification course on Open Learning for 30 ringgit. 30 ringgit, self-study tau. Not even live tau, self-study. You belajar sendiri on Open Learning. 30 ringgit per person. Now get this. He has 1,000 students. Multiply lah for a self-study course where he doesn't even need to be there anymore. 30 ringgit, 1,000 students. Okay, now everybody excited. I want that. Yeah. But
so fellow trainers, what are you waiting for, right?
Nobisha is famous. So Kelvin say, what are you waiting for? Okay, that last logo on the right, that is Padlet, P-A-D-L-E-T. Padlet is, if you run short courses like 3-day or 4-day courses, and you don't want to set up a whole Google Classroom just for that, then you can use Padlet. Why? Because Google Classroom requires a Gmail account. And some people don't have Gmail accounts. That gets really frustrating. So if you do a short course, like a 2-day or 3-day course, I recommend Padlet, because Padlet, you can upload videos, you can upload sound files, you can, macam-macam lah. Go check it out lah. P-A-D-L-E-T. The free version gives you 3 pads. So sort of like you can create 3 courses in there. More than that, you have to pay. But here's the weird part. You pay, yeah, you get unlimited pads. From 3 to unlimited. So again, if you are a professional trainer, I recommend pay for it. Why not? Then we have engagement tools, and engagement tools are basically third-party tools like Mentimeter. That second logo is Mentimeter. The first logo is Kahoot, K-A-H-O-O-T, exclamation mark. And you can run gamification, you can run polls, you can run quizzes using these. And participants, they work on it on their laptops and on their phones. And Padlet is also there because you can share screen on Padlet and everyone can type into your pad at the same time. So to answer, I think Bina's question, how do you get feedback from everyone? Specific feedback. If you do generic feedback, I say you can use Menti, menti.com, where you can use the word cloud. If you want specific feedback, you give the link to your pad and you say, okay guys, all 100 of you, please go into this pad and type in your answer for this question. Then you look at that pad, you'll see 100 people typing at the same time. And you actually get to survey all the answers. This is something you can never do in a real classroom. I want you to imagine, right? Okay, everybody, what is your answer? You ask a room of 100 people. What is your answer to this question? La 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 la. Whoa! But on Padlet, 100 people can type in at the same time, and you get recorded all of their opinions, which you can use either in tomorrow's class or something like that. Okay. Last but not least is Q&A. I recommend, especially for a longer course, you had set up a WhatsApp group or Telegram group. Why? Because sometimes it has happened. Okay, everyone, let's go on to our Zoom call today. Suddenly Zoom call putus. And what to do? Want to call everyone up? Want to email everyone? No. You go into your WhatsApp group and say, sorry guys, but what happened? Here's a new link. Let's come back in 5 minutes time. So you need to have a space where you can connect with them very, very fast, number one, and a space, safe space, where they can ask you questions at 12 a.m. malam, because some people don't sleep at night, and you can answer the next day. So a combination of all of these tools can help you run a long-term course. Now here's what pisses me off. There's so many meeting tools, got Skype la, Zoom la, WebEx la, whatever, but no learning tools. So us as trainers, as facilitators, as educators, lecturers, teachers, what are we forced to do? We're forced to take all of these tools, the ones you see on this page, and cobble them together to make one learning tool, which is not fair. It's not fair because the world is telling us meetings are more important than learning. That's not fair. By now, some programmers should have created a learning tool, not a meeting tool. Okay, rant over. Let's continue. So tip number 3, you've chosen your platform, you've chosen your tool, choose your approach. And approach is, how do you interact with the participants? Do you interact with them at sage level? So if you've ever been to a webinar where the subject matter expert is just talking and talking and talking, macam ni lah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm in sage mode right now. I'm not in specific mode. I'm very high level mode because I can only interact one way and I can only give you very high level answers. Or you go in facilitator mode where you go, okay, let me give you a situation and please type into the text chat, what do you think you would do in this situation? And then you keep quiet. And then everybody answers. You turn on their microphone and they answer. So as you can see, you start moving from collaboration, right, to control. And the further right you move into control, then you start seeing this guy, the teacher. And the teacher is different from the facilitator. Facilitator says, any way is okay, any answer is good, right? I accept all answers, well done. Teacher says, no, there's only one way of doing this. Okay, there's only one way, no, that's wrong. Okay, this one is the right one. Jangan salah. So when you run a knowledge course is important for facts and figures. You need to get it right. The furthest right you go, you have the instructor who says, no, this is the only way to do it. Jangan main-main, you don't try and brainstorm your own way of doing it. So between left to right, somebody asked me, how do you do a Facebook class? Well, if you're teaching people how to build a page, a Facebook page, you cannot use Sage, When you use Sage, everybody gets lost. Why? Because creating Facebook is step by step. And step by step requires instructor. All right. I'm going to go into the text chat to see what questions we have. Got question?
Belum.
No question. Wow.
Because everybody is listening to you. Sage.
Guys, if you need to ask a question, go ask. Facebook, any questions?
Nope.
Serious. How many people are watching on Facebook? Come on.
We won't know.
It says there. I mean, if you're on Facebook, there's a.
But that number is not correct.
Okay. Technology. All right. Tip number 4 is engage creatively. And see, I can't do this with the Facebook people. I can only engage with the participants here. So everyone here, what I want you to do is I'm going to show you a picture. Okay. So remember this, I'm giving you clarity of information, right? I'm going to show you a picture. And I want you to prepare your fingers onto the keyboard right now. You are going to type in your first impression. Your first impression. Don't think, jangan fikir lama-lama. When I show you the picture, immediately type in your first impression. All right? If you're ready, type into the text chat why right now. That tells me who is there or who's asleep. Type into the text chat why right now if you're ready. Why for yes. Okay? Why for yes, not why does the sun go on shining. All right, I'm going to show you the picture. Get ready to type in your opinion. What's the first thing that comes to mind? Ready? Go. No, this is not the slide for that. I just want to make sure that you are ready for this. So I'm going to do that on the next slide. Get ready for that, yeah? So for tip 4, when we say engage creatively, this is what we mean. Use the different tools together to be able to build your course. And here's an example of the previous slide when we say put that all together. So when I run a long-term course, like a 4-week course, which I'm doing right now, I put them into a WhatsApp group first. Why? Because I want them to do some pre-work. If you run a course, if you've ever done a course and you ran pre-work, how many people actually do the pre-work? That's the challenge. About 70% will not do and say, sorry, a teacher forgot lah. So what I do is I put them into a WhatsApp group and I make sure everyone does the pre-work, because then in the WhatsApp group, you have peer pressure and you have other people that was answering and you get challenged. Wow, this guy go answer very power. I want to answer also, more power. So use that as your pre-work. And then some of the activities, you actually get them to do the activities inside Google Classroom so that they familiarize themselves with the Google Classroom tool. And this is important because if they are going to use that repository for the next 4 weeks, they need to know where everything is. They need to know how to use it. So this is even before the class starts. Then just before the virtual class starts, for example, if your class is at 9 a.m. in the morning, at about 8:45, you jump into the WhatsApp group and you go, okay, who's ready to start class today? Today, we're going to talk about this and this and this and this and this. And then you'll get some answers. Ala cikgu, sorry lah, I cannot come today because my cat passed away lah. You get all sorts of stuff like that. So you say, okay, there's no problem. You can watch the recording later, but we will have a lot of fun without you. And the more you do this, you'll find that more and more people don't miss class anymore because they watch the recording, they feel left out, they couldn't ask questions, they couldn't do activities. And this works. I've tried it out many, many times. It works. I've noticed the number of people who miss the class become less and less. And then if you're using instructor mode, right, I recommend that you use only slides and voice. Do not use a video. Don't use the webcam. Why? Because it's not necessary. When you use Sage, yes, use webcam more, use slides less, use words less. And last but not least, run simple activities in a virtual class. Complex activities you reserve for Google Classroom. You reserve for the repository. Why? Because it's complex. So in the classroom, they can read the instructions. That's why your lecturers don't get you to do your assignments. If you remember university, your lecturers never say, okay, do the assignment now in class. Mana ada? They give you time, they give you specific instructions to be able to do that. All right. So, questions, type into the text chat, please. Now, we're going to do tip number 5, make them think. Now, this is what I prepared you for. Hands on the keyboard. Type in Y for me right now to tell me you're ready. Okay, Surya. Surya has actually private messaged me to say, Cikgu, please don't use my cat die as an example because only those who has cat knows how it feels when your cat died. Well, I use that example because I've used that before and my cat did die. So it's a real example. And one of my friends today just called me. He had to postpone his meeting because his kitten, the vet said is now 50-50. He has pneumonia. And I know what that feels like, how to lose a cat. It's like losing a family member. Yeah, very sad. Okay, so now that your hands are on the keyboard, I'm going to show you this picture. As soon as you see the picture, type into the text chat, what do you think or what do you feel? Ready? Go. Are there only 3 people in the room? Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to go to Thai CT. Thai CT says perspective. Thai, can I get you to turn on your microphone? I don't know if that's your name. So can you give me, can you tell me, have you seen this before? Please turn on your microphone and share with us.
Yes.
Yes, you have. So your answer tells me that you have seen it before, which means that your critical thinking, it tends to be sharper because it doesn't affect you as much. Some others here are pretending they've never seen it, but I know some of you have seen it before. But this is actually a photo that went viral because photographers from different angles took actually different photos. So what you want to do to make them, to keep your participants engaged is to give them activities that make them think. So Sue says not a good example. You mean the cat or you mean the prince? Isam says ballpoint pen. No, that's where you went, huh? I would love to give you a Rorschach test, see what pops up. So somebody actually typed in the word. Good. All right, let's give you another tip. Tip number 6 is make them do something. Okay, make them do something. So now what I want you to do is now, even if you're in Zoom or if you're in Facebook land, please grab a pen. A lot of people would like to give me that test. Isam says, yeah, I think I can guess. Okay, so back to this. Tip number 6 is make them do something. And you don't need to have a lot of tools or apps. Right now, the people in Zoom room, okay, grab a piece of paper and a pen. And if you have it next to you and you have it ready with you, type in yes, please. Not yes, please, but type in yes. Once you have it ready, an empty piece of paper and a pen, type in yes. So Sue, she has something ready. Surya has something ready, good. Gobina has something ready. Anybody else? Find a piece of paper and a pen. Okay, Siti Suryani has something. There's like 10 people in here. How come that's only a few? So some people are running around. Okay, so to respect the time, here's what I want you to do. The people with pens and papers in Facebook land or in Zoom, I want you to draw this scribble right now on your piece of paper. Draw this scribble. When you've done the scribble, type in done. That's all I want, that scribble. Done, 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 done. Okay, cool. Now, part 2 of this activity is I want you to add in details. I want you to scribble some more on your own, add in details to make this something else. Turn it into another picture, turn it into another drawing. And I'll give you only 45 seconds to do this, okay? Zoom people and Facebook people, 45 seconds starts now. Go, draw, add in details until it becomes something else. You've got 30 seconds. Add in as much detail as you want. Turn it into something else. $15 seconds. Okay, time's up. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to assess yourself. If what you drew is a bird of any species, be it a duck or a chicken, I don't care. If it's a bird, I want you to give yourself 1 star. Type into the text chat 1 star. You know the asterisk? If you have drawn a bird of any species, give yourself 1 star. Okay. All right. If you drew a man in a hat, a face with a hat, also give yourself 1 star. Even if it's a bird. Okay. Now let's go with 2 stars, right? If you drew something other than a bird or a man in a hat or even a graduate hat, right? It's something else. But you can still see the original line. Give yourselves 2 stars. Here we go. Give yourselves 2 stars. Let's see who got 2 stars. Izam, I suspected as much. Saiful as well, I suspected as much. Okay, now, I can detect your weirdness all the way from here, man. I can feel it. Okay, now for 3 stars. How do you, some of you have given yourself 2 stars. Yeah, okay. Some of you give yourself 2 stars, but you might actually deserve 3 stars. Now, 3 stars are for the people who drew this, added details, so much detail that you cannot even see the original line. You can't even see the line. Oh, mana the line disappear? Aku yang lukis, aku pun tak nampak. Give yourself 3 stars. All right, well done. So this is an activity I use in my creative thinking courses. Notice I did not need to share screen to another app or another website. It is still just here on the slides. So what is more important? Is it the tool or is it the teacher? Tell me in the text chat, which is more important, the tool or the teacher? Ta-da! I have taught you well. Well, actually, Kelvin has taught you well. So the teacher is the one who is creative enough to teach in many different ways from many different angles to help their students understand. The tool is only what they use. But if you depend on your tools, then you become a fool. I am sure you've met trainers or teachers who go, oh, no projector, I cannot teach. So wait, is the knowledge inside the projector or inside your head? How is it that you can say, oh, I didn't bring my laptop today, I cannot teach? What the hell? sorry to say that, but I get very angry when I meet people who say, oh, tak boleh lah, I cannot teach lah because tak bawa my laptop today. Come on, man. We had great teachers for thousands of years who never had a whiteboard or a blackboard, no OHP, no projector, and still can teach us, can still create good human beings. What is your excuse? If Zoom goes down, okay, fine. Let's go to WhatsApp. No excuse. All right, like Zoom connectivity is very bad. So here's what I'll do. Worst case scenario, I'm going to manage this. Everyone move to the WhatsApp group right now, and we're going to do our activities on WhatsApp. If some of you are thinking, it can, well, I'm answering, if that's what you have, that's what you use. No excuse. Do what you can. Don't worry about what you cannot do. Okay. Last tip of the day. And guys in Facebook land, I'm sorry you cannot follow on with us. I'm going to give this to the guys in the Zoom room. And that's why I'm not showing my webcam, because I don't want to confuse you. Guys, type into the text chat. I'll give you 30 seconds. How many words can you find on this slide? Ready, set, go. 30 seconds.
Repeat question, please. Repeat question, please.
Question. Look at this picture. There are words in this picture. Find the hidden words. Type into the text chat the hidden words. You have 30 seconds. Go. Saiful says page. Good. Bina says or. Keep going. Keep going. You have 20 seconds. Somebody says no. Keep going. 15 seconds. Or page. Words. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not bad. Not bad, guys. Let's take a look what you missed. Book. Nobody got book. Story. Nobody got story. Words. Okay. I think Kelvin got words. Not bad. Page. Anybody got page? Oh, somebody got page. Yep. Novel. So two people got novel. And Sue got read. Well done. Well done. Give yourselves a round of applause. All right. That was fun.
Well done.
Let's try it again.
Oh.
This time I'll give you only 20 seconds. Ready, set, go. More words. Find the words. Kelvin found puddle. Keep going. No, don't annotate. Just type in the text chat. Wow, your teacher taking everything over, huh? Puddle, storm. Come on, everyone. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6 towels. 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, time is up. All right, here we go. Let's see what you missed. Clouds. Nobody ever gets clouds. From Malaysia to Cambodia, nobody gets clouds. Stormy. Not just storm, but stormy. Puddle. Wet. Somebody got wet. I saw that just now. Shower. Somebody got shower. Missed the S. There's one thing missing. I'll give you 5 seconds. Find that last word. 5, 4, 3, 2. Ta-da! Last word is damn. All right. I feel bad for you guys, so I'm going to give you one more chance. This time, only 10 seconds. Ready, set, go. Somebody got frost and frosty. Interesting. Frost. Ah, tak aci lah. Dah seorang jawab dah. Okay, keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Love? I see what's on your mind, man. I see what's on your mind. Yeah. MCO, not so good for love. All right, give yourselves a round of applause. Let's see what you missed. So, we have frost. We have ice. Nobody got ice. We got mittens. The E on the squirrel should have been a dead giveaway. We have snow. We have boots. Anybody got boots? No. Chill. Somebody got chill. Well done. Congratulations, everyone. So what is tip number 7? Sorry about that. What is tip number 7 is make them compete. Now my question, the guys in this room right now, tell me in the text chat, what has been your experience for tip number 7 that I just shared with you right now? Tell me in the text chat now. Not complete, Sue. Make them compete. Pertandingan. Okay, so tell me what's been your experience for tip number 7 especially. All right, so my job was to be able to share with you. I'm not a very tool person. I know there's tools like Mentimeter and Kahoot and all sorts of stuff. Yes, those are good. But if I can give you something to take away, it is you are the teacher. You are more important than your tools. So please do not discount that. Don't think like, oh, I tak boleh buat lah. No, you are the teacher. I've done a course on acupuncture. No, it's not acupuncture. Yes, it was acupuncture. I attended a course on acupuncture where this guy had his camera mounted on top of his exercise book. You know, buku exercise sekolah tu, buku latihan with the lines. And that's how he presented. He wrote on the book with his his handphone, recording everything, streaming it live. And instead of writing on a whiteboard or blackboard, he wrote on the buku exercise. And that was fun. We were like, cool, that's so creative. And then he turned the page because he had prepared other material. He had prepared diagrams, drawings. That was amazing. That goes to show that if you are creative, it doesn't matter what tool you need. You know why? Because this guy is a guru silat. He's an old school guru silat. He doesn't know how to use Jamboard or Ziteboard or stuff like that. So all he did was just set up his phone, use his exercise book, and he wrote as if it was a whiteboard. And that's amazing to me. So if I leave you with anything today, it's that you as a teacher, you as an instructor, you as a facilitator are actually more important than the tool. Don't feel like, oh, I must use all sorts of tools to be sophisticated and look good and professional. That is not the case. Never the case, never will be the case. Because we are human beings, we are the creative ones, not the tools. The tool is the created. We created the tools. So don't make the tools more than you. All right? That ends what I have to share with you today. I'm going to hand it back to Kelvin. And if you have questions, type into the text chat now. Kelvin, all yours.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Nazrin.
Thank you so much.
It's a wonderful
Thank
sharing
you,
that you're
guys.
having with us. So guys, you see what I mean, why I invite Nazrin here, because he can really engage you. Do you know that you have been sitting here for 1.5 hours already?
Yeah.
Yep. And do you feel the time moving? No, you
No.
didn't, right? So that's the power of engagement. So if we all here, the trainers, plus anyone who attend our class, they will be engaged. So I hope you can learn some tips from Cikgu Nazrin. He is really, really a very, very good guru. So if you want to find out, go and Google for what's the meaning of guru. He is a giver, and he's like never be too stingy to share. So thank you again.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank
Yeah,
you, teacher.
so
Thank you, Kelvin.
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
thank you, Sifu Kelvin.
So I'm going to end the live now. For those of you who thinks that you want to ask questions, you can always reach out to us. Just type your comment in the SifooTime, then we will respond to you. If you want to know who is Cikgu Nazrin, we will connect you to him. All right. So I'm going to stop the live share now. Thank you so much for watching. As for the rest of us, in the Zoom, if you have any question for Nazrin, please
Teacher.
post the teacher. Please ask. Yeah, you can unmute
Teacher.
yourself, everybody.
I think she wants to ask a
Teacher.
question.
I want to ask question, teacher.
Can go ahead.
How do you differentiate between instructor, mentor, facilitators, and coaches?
Okay, by the process of how they do it. So if you look at
By the
Sage,
process.
okay, maybe I go back to that slide lah. We've stopped already, kan?
Should I stop?
We've stopped, so we're not Facebooking lah. Okay, so let me go back to. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to that one. Alamak, Kelvin is gonna kill me for this because he tells me you can actually use the numbers. Oh, there we go. So I forgot which slide it was.
It's okay. It's okay.
So the approach by process. So an instructor controls the process of learning. You cannot deviate. You cannot use your own terminology. You cannot use your own way. Jangan main-main. So if I were to give you an analogy, let me ask, do you bake? You bake cakes?
Yes.
If you were to teach someone to bake a cake, let's just say, do you have a daughter?
No.
Okay, let's just say when you do have
My
a daughter.
son bakes.
Your son bakes. Okay.
Okay.
So did you teach him?
Yes.
Can he put in ingredients secukup rasa
Yes.
for baking?
Yes. Because I'm there.
Because?
I'm there.
No, not because. He decides secukup rasa.
Oh no.
Can you do secukup rasa agak-agak for baking?
Letak setengah telur.
Instead of
Sometimes
450
depends on the
grams,
recipe. Depends on the recipe.
But when we talk mostly about baking cakes, right? Can you go 50 grams off base?
No.
Lari tak? Tak boleh.
Tak boleh.
So instructor will make sure you jangan main-main. You stick to this. You don't move it. All right. So if I were to teach you how to drill for oil, can I use sage mode?
No.
Why?
Because that is something that you have to do perfectly.
Correct. So anything that is high compliance, high safety, there is potential for danger or death, then
Yeah.
you are in instructor mode. So if you have friends who are safety officers,
Oh.
mereka garang-garang tau.
Uh-uh.
And I have friends who are safety officers, they say, lagi if you teach Bangladeshis, and the word, they say, kalau Malaysians, satu hal, people who don't understand bahasa Malaysia, English kan, you communicate with threats. And I'm not saying this is right or wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that this, they say, if you don't do this correctly, you will die. Faham tak? Mati.
Mati, mampoy.
They do their level best to get the message across, which means sometimes kekerasan lah. Instructors will use discipline, hardness, and when you think about it, in the military, pakai sage ke, pakai facilitator ke, teacher ke, instructor?
Instructor.
Definitely instructor. So does that tell you the difference for instructors so far?
Yeah, but why sometimes they call us instructor?
Who calls
We
you?
are IT trainers.
That's the
Tapi
question, who
adalah
calls you?
clients.
Client.
Sometimes clients call us, that is the instructor.
Clients call me a consultant.
Clients don't call me consultant. They call me instructor.
Government will see all of us as consultants.
I see.
So they don't understand the difference. That's okay. Panggil lah. You want to call me what you call, you just pay me lah.
Yeah, exactly.
But an instructor
Teacher.
is someone who just step by step.
Yeah. Okay.
Controls the
Understood.
process, controls the output, and controls the compliance. Teacher will teach you the knowledge, but will not control how you do it. You understand? Your mathematics teacher still call you up and say, hey, you using the plus minus divide correctly or not? Instructor will check up on you. So if you have a fitness instructor, hey, makan ke ini? How much you makan? Berapa kalori? Okay, a teacher will only teach you knowledge, will only keep you, okay, now you pandai-pandai lah. You graduate, you dah dapat degree kan, pandai-pandai you do yourself lah. Right? A facilitator involves you in the process. So they will ask, so Kelvin, what do you think is the best way to raise children? Now the facilitator is a teacher or is someone who teaches how to raise children. But why is he asking the question? Why does he just tell us? Because he wants us to think. So we survey lah. Okay, Kelvin, Bina. So what, Saiful, what do you think is the best way to raise children? And we have a discussion. Right?
Oh, that's facilitator.
That's facilitator. A sage will be someone who, you will notice a sage, dia tak ada structure. And I'm sure you've been for webinars like this, tak ada structure. Dia main lompat-lompat topik.
Ikut dan je.
Dia ikut dan. Dia go that direction. You tanya soalan dia ikut direction lain. Sage dia style dia borak-borak. Tapi I have been on a sage webinar for 2 hours and a half, tak perasan pun 2 hours and a half habis. Tak perasan langsung. I'm like, dah sejam ke? Because he said it was a 1 hour session. Dah sejam ke? 2.5 hours. So, you choose your approach based on how you do it. I recommend if you do a webinar, use sage approach. If you do a long-term course, use an instructor approach. But here's the but. The but comes again. You can actually mix and match. At different times of the course, you can actually be sage. Another time of the course, you can be teacher. Another time of the course, you can be facilitator.
So be flexible, you mean, teacher?
Yes, be flexible.
We can be anything as long as the class runs smoothly.
That is correct.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
Does that answer the question?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else? Isam says Gordon Ramsay won't be happy with agak-agak. Definitely. And that auntie is my friend's auntie. Dia orang Negeri Sembilan. That agak-agak auntie.
Oh, okay, agak.
So I got that story before the episode came out.
Oh, okay.
All right. So it looks like there's no questions. Kelvin, back to you.
All right. So thank you so much again. For those who are here, I hope you learned something really, really meaningful to bring your training to a next level. All right. So do your own research. If you have anything that you need to find out, you can always reach out. The only thing you can do is you ask and you will get. Otherwise, you won't get. Okay. So I'll talk to you all over the WhatsApp. And thank you, Encik Nadzrin. So, teacher, let's end the meeting now. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
everyone.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
teacher. Thank you, teacher.
Have a great day.
Yo, you too. Have a nice day.
Selamat Hari Raya.
Selamat Hari Raya.
Sorry, a bit late.
Selamat Hari Raya.
Join the carnival, jangan lupa.
Huh?
Carnival kan?
Okay, see Kelvin, now they speak up. Okay, I'm off. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
So guys, what you guys think? Is it a
Cool.
beneficial?
Cool. Cool. I like it.
Yeah, we're going to put up this video for the rest of them who are not able to join us. So we're going to share the link. So Saiful, you can do me a favor on that.
Boleh. I
Boleh,
put my YouTube, then I letak link tu dekat sini lah.
Memang ada kat SifooTime kan kalau kita buat live macam tu?
Ada. Dekat SifooTime memang dah ada live. If they want to watch it live at SifooTime, or you want me to put a link to the group.
I'll leave it to you. As long as it benefits everyone in the
It's
group.
already in SifooTime. They can watch it anytime.
Like I said lah, as long as they
Bagi link pun okay, Saiful, because I watch yang meeting kita tu, it was smoothly. Nice, very nice.
Okay.
Yang mana?
Yang meeting kita malam tu. Yang meeting kita malam tu. I watch it already.
I download this, and then I post it in my YouTube. I put it on this
Yeah.
then I put the link to the group lah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
So thank you guys.
Thank you, Kelvin.
End the meeting now.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Bye. We
Bye.
can leave now?
Yeah, please.
Pergilah.
Thank you, Kelvin. Thank you.
So sad.
So sad. Don't want to leave.
Thank you.
Don't want.
By the way,
Don't want. Poster dah siap ke belum? Everybody.
write up jangan lupa. Nanti kan kita akan bagi sampel dekat dalam group.
Poster.
So everybody see you do something similar lah. Janganlah yalah YouTuber buat lah. Nanti kita tengok macam mana.
Okay.
Saiful punya mengancam.
Tai your one also please.
Soalan punya
your
terancam.
Poster.
Mengada.
So you're going to enjoy his class, Joe. So
Yeah. I'm already in the group. And very energetic.
You better get yourself up and running with the messages.
Yeah. Terketik, betul lah, terlalu banyak. Okay, bye-bye. I'm going off now. Bye.
Sudi ke?
Bye.
Sanggup ke?
Bye. Sanggup. Tapi nak tekan tak boleh tekan. Nak tekan tak boleh tekan. Macam mana ni? Okay, tekanlah. Bye-bye.
Tai, do you have any question? You're still here? Izam? No, Tai sudah keluar. Izam.
Okay, bye-bye. I'm going.
Yeah, bye. Hey, Tai is still here. So Tai, any question? Tai ada ke ni?
Saya ada ke? Nama ada?
Tapi dia punya mikrofon tak ada. Tai, if you are coming from your phone, you need to put the device microphone. Saiful, you masih record eh?
Oh ya, nanti saya stop.